last week when I edited the podcast, you did the little Sean thing. Went,
oh yeah.
Whatever. I took audio of me saying goodnight and threw it in there, but all you saw was like
the little
thing.
Sean.
So I'm like, Garrett's impression was like spot on.
That's great.
They were like super proud of you, but that was just me.
You know, it's funny. Fans, viewers at home, they see stuff on the podcast. They get all kinds of wild ideas in their head. Like that I'm doing an impression of you there. That was a little trickery on your part. But
Magic.
Someone just tweeted at me like, hey, I watched the show. You said that you met Jared Leto and he showed you production stills of the Joker movie? Was it being completed? Well, how far along were these stills that you saw? And it's just like, I can't even reply to you.
Is it someone from the Hollywood Reporter?
I can't even.
I need the scoop.
No, and their avatar is like a Joker and Harley Quinn.
Gotta keep dude, DC fans are nuts.
Yeah, sorry, I was joking.
He's a jokester.
It was
we got a Joker
facetious.
here.
Let me tell you that I try to explain this to people. Like the podcast it is us, but it is not like we're joking. Like everything we say is like we're joking about these things. So like
It's Sean's not really himself.
This is a
it's
character.
A character.
I have no kids.
It's like the Robin Quivers. It's an amped up character.
I'm Eric the actor.
I always want to explain that to people too. When people meet me in real life, they're always like, "Wow, you're way different on the podcast," and it like they're almost offended by how different I am. But it's like, well, yeah, it's the podcast.
Right.
I come out here, and I think everybody has their own philosophy of what makes a good show and what makes it entertaining. And a long time ago, I felt like be crazy, be wild, be extreme, because it's for the show. It's for entertainment. But yeah, people definitely just think that that's you in your real life. And honestly, sometimes real world opinions and little glimpses of our true personality bleeds through. So yeah, you can get to know us on some level.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Like Kev.
But I would say, you know, for the majority of shit I say,
You go for the joke.
Yeah, and that's the thing
I'm just
too.
I'm just trying to be funny. I'm just bullshitting.
A part of me is like, dude, in the future, when I try to get like, you know, a job as a mayor or elected official, they're gonna look at this podcast and be like, look at all this fucked up stuff he said. But it's like trying to explain, like, yeah, that's me as a character of me trying to be funny. Like, that's fucking
You're going for the laugh.
That's why you get the gamers to vote for you.
Oh,
Play to the game.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
you need
I could
game
be
votes.
the mayor of Santee.
But I
Sim
think,
City.
honestly, that it's like that with every form of entertainment, even like any show, any radio show. Even
Rodney Dangerfield had talked about how like he really got no respect outside because people thought he was this loser character that he built up, and so he was always depressed because like, no, it's a fucking character.
yeah, and like you know the kid who played Draco Malfoy, people are like, why are you so mean to Harry Potter? It's a fucking movie.
yeah.
That
kid was Joffrey retired from acting because everyone was being
Yeah,
so mean to him.
people
God,
can't
Joffrey.
separate obvious like fictional character from the real person. So I understand how it's even harder to separate these pseudo real characters. You know, we're presenting ourselves as heightened version of ourselves, and in that sense, it's
But
a
like,
character.
you know, a stand-up comedian, which I'm not saying that we are, but like, you know, they go out and they say these fucked up things. They're trying to see what's funny and they try to see what works.
yeah.
And they do that live, so it's kind of
Well, but look what's happening to stand-up comedians. They're all getting fucking in trouble. Like, you know, they're not allowed to host the Oscars anymore.
Yeah, people are holding
because
them
of shit they
accountable
said.
as if that's really them.
No,
Right.
you're going for the laugh on stage,
Yeah.
and if people have a hard time, and there's a lot of people who think like, well, yeah, you shouldn't be going for that laugh. You shouldn't be saying inappropriate things for the laugh because you're sending the wrong message out there, and people don't understand that it's just for the laugh. And you know, like the whole only punch down. What is it? Only punch
Punching
up.
up, yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Well, that's why I
don't
love
agree with.
the dangerous world of comedy, because it really kind of just there's none of that there. You realize that some people out there are really suffering in more extreme ways than you've probably ever experienced or known that anybody has. And and so in those circumstances, like, are we really gonna like mince words about like what you can and can't do for comedy?
We honestly, like, truthfully, we are lucky to be having this conversation about like, well, they think I'm offensive because whatever. It's like, dude, it's like the bottle up the ass thing. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
That's where comedy came from for you. Like, yeah, people said I was funny in middle school and I was like being made fun of.
Dude,
like, whoa.
Larry Charles goes to Liberia in that show. I'm going to talk about the dangerous world of comedy again. It's on Netflix if anybody wants to watch it. He interviews a comedian from Liberia, and the guy's like joking, like, yeah, on this street, I grew up here. I make jokes here. I joke with all the people. Man, let me tell you, when I was a kid, that building over there, that tall building, they had a sniper in that building. That guy was a good fucking shot, man. He would get anybody who comes down the street, man. He would just get him. And he's kind of joking about it. And Larry Charles was like, oh, so it's dangerous here? He's like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, we just drove by a spot. I saw my sister get stabbed. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, your sister got stabbed? And then the comedian's like, yeah. And they, like, started tearing up. He's like, I make jokes, but it was sad.
Oh, my God.
Like, yeah, some people really have to struggle with all this, like, really fucked up shit, man.
Yeah.
And they make jokes about it. You never, this is my point. I'm going to bring it all around back to a point. When you're going to criticize a comedian for the stuff they say, you don't know what they've been through. And you don't know, like, where that comedy comes from and what they're dealing with in making that comedy. And unless you know somebody, like, very well, like, who are you to say, like, you haven't suffered enough to joke about that stuff?
Right.
So comedians should get a pass.
Yeah.
I think comedians should get a pass. Let's stop hating on comedians so much.
If
They're
that's their
trying to make
profession,
you laugh.
trying to give some levity to the world, the ugly, sad world.
Yeah, they're here for us. I think I talked about this before, but I was going through a stand-up comedian phase recently because honestly, you talked about it a lot, but I never really listened to stand-up that much. And so I, like, talked to my friend Jonathan, who listens to, like, a ton of them. Like, hey, give me everything. Let me just listen to it all.
Like his favorites.
Yeah, and he gave me, like, 50 albums.
Oh,
And
nice.
I listened, like, they're all on Apple Music. I listened to all of them. And then I came up with, I like several of them, but, like, Gary Goldman was by far my favorite. Like, this guy, I've ever heard of Gary Goldman.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Holy shit. Like, it's not, like, the craziest. Like, he's very calculated and just, like, tells his jokes, but dude, that guy was made for me. So
Is it like one-liners? What?
it's not one-liners. It's just, like, he tells a story, and he goes on these little tangents in the story, but, like, they're just fucking great. Like, you can tell he spends so much time on his jokes. So, it's on Apple Music. Check out Gary Goldman. He has, like, 2 main albums. It's funny. He has, like, on Apple Music, they tell you, like, oh, this is his best track. It's like, oh, what's that one? That was, like, my least favorite joke of all of his. But
Yeah.
there's one called, like, Gary Goldman in This Economy. If you're going to watch one, check it out. Highly, highly recommend it.
Yeah, Netflix is a lot of stand-up, too.
Yeah.
They just did a little... it's a series of specials,
The half hour?
Comedians of the World.
Oh, okay.
And Neil Brennan was on one, Joey Diaz, Nick Swartzen, which I hadn't heard of in a long time.
Yeah.
Really good, like, series of each one is about, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes or whatever, and it's a different stand-up comedian from a different place in the world, all over,
That's cool.
all over different countries, everywhere. Yeah, sad news. I don't want to bring the podcast down,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
one of my favorite
Dude,
stand-up
I thought
comedy.
of you the second I heard of it.
One of my favorite stand-up comedians took his own life.
Yeah. Thursday?
Stephen Brody
Was it
Stevens.
Friday? It was terrible.
I know, and he was such a, like, driving force of positive energy.
Yeah,
Like cheerleader for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fuck, man, these people are like the sad clown, like
Yeah.
tortured
It sucked.
in so many different ways.
Yeah, I
But-
was thinking of you.
Yeah.
I knew you were on vacation. Like, I wonder if Garrett knows or
God,
not. Like,
yeah, a couple people. I was kind of off my phone for most of the vacation, but then the last day I was on Wi-Fi and checking stuff, and that's when I was getting texts from people. Shout out Mauricio over at Rockin' Pins. He
Yeah.
was like, dude, I just found out. He was just, he just made a pin for him.
Right.
Just talked to him Wednesday before this happened.
I mean, he put on Twitter, like, the day before, like, I'm looking forward to going into the festival scene again, or
I
something like
know,
that. And it's
I
like,
know.
dude, like, it sucks.
But you can go out and watch Hangover 1, Hangover 2, cut out of funny people. You can go watch his stuff because it's on YouTube, it's on Netflix. Zach Galifianakis and Mike Gibbons produced a thing called Enjoy It for HBO, which I was like, I got an HBO subscription specifically to watch that show when it aired, and it's fantastic, and it really goes into his life and his struggle with, because he had a big mental breakdown a few years ago. That's kind of revolves around this show.
Oh.
But I just feel so bad for his mom and his sister, and like
Yeah.
all his comedian friends are like, when I was opening Twitter on that last day of the vacation, it was such a bummer because like half of my feed is stand-up comedians, and all of them are just mourning the loss of like their friend.
Right.
And it's just so many like stories they're sharing and everything. And
Right.
like still, I'm so bummed, but I see this picture of this smiling Brody, and I'm just like, oh fuck, dude, it makes me laugh inside still. Like
Right.
I listen to every Broadnester podcast and everything he did. I'm like not going back to stuff yet, a little too soon, but what a loss.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
Well,
anyways.
I said I didn't mean to drag it all
No,
down.
no, people
No,
wanna hear your
you know
opinions on
what?
it.
Yeah.
We can follow it up with something funny and positive.
Yeah.
Just give us a second. Sean, go ahead. Maybe I'll sing the guest on
Frank,
song
what
again.
kind of socks you got on, Frank?
I got these. They match my shoes. They're just they're black and red.
It's not In and Out on there?
No.
All right, move
they're
on.
More of a
Fuck.
simple one.
Mine are just black.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
You know what? I was going through my sock drawer.
Yeah?
I'm trying to save this.
Yeah.
No, we're
And
moving on.
I threw away all of the white socks. I'm like,
Good
I'm
for
not
you.
why do I have white socks?
Down
on?
with Whitey.
Reverse racism.
What am I doing with these white socks? I put them on. I feel self-conscious. I hate wearing them. Fuck this.
I
So
switched to
got rid of 'em.
black socks and black underwear in like high school.
That's when I did it,
Never
yeah.
looked back.
That's awesome.
Black underwear too. Only black.
Yeah.
Because I don't care
or
about the color of my
gray.
underwear.
Or gray.
Yeah. That doesn't. Yeah. I don't go.
Hides
for the colors.
everything.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This is boring as fuck. Let's
Oh,
go back to
shit.
talking about killing yourself. Jeez. Fucking A. Spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Do we want to take some-
Favorite celebrity who did themselves in? Sean, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Does Mama Cass count?
We're not going to go there.
I don't know.
Was that a joke? Or was that a serious question?
It's a serious question.
Okay.
With
Mama
some
Cass,
humor attached
Did,
to it. Choked on a sandwich.
who
No,
won?
she didn't. You're perpetuating a lie at the expense of her struggle with weight.
And
Okay?
that's a stereotype that I leaned into a little hard. Yeah.
I watched "Won't You Be My Neighbor."
Oh yeah.
I
what'd you
really
think of
liked it.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah, it was great. It was really good. So
I heard that makes everyone cry.
I did not cry.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
think-
Cold
did-
son
did
of
you
a
cry?
bitch.
Did
it make you cry?
I think I teared up. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I grew up with
'cause
Mr.
me
Rogers,
too.
so yeah.
And they were talking about how different he was, and he obviously was. But it's like there was a time where he was like, "You want to see what a minute is?" And then he just put on a timer and just sat there quietly for a minute. Like, what other TV show could you ever
They
do
talk
that?
about having to produce a show every fucking day. So it's like filling
Yeah.
time. All right, let's show what a minute.
You
is
want to
on
see
here.
what a
That's
minute
some
is?
Andy
You know what,
Kaufman
Today I'm
shit.
going to show you half an hour.
Lennon asked me all the time, like, "Hey, we're gonna get in here. 5 minutes. How long is 5 minutes?" Like, yeah. How do you explain time to
a kid?
I should just do that. Here's a minute. We'll sit here and we're gonna sit here quietly for a minute.
It'd be
So you know.
excruciating.
I should do it though.
Dude, my teachers in elementary school would do shit like that. I had a teacher where it's like if kids were talking, they'd put a mark on the board.
Yeah.
And then when it'd be time for recess, 3 marks on the board. We're gonna wait 3 minutes of
For the
no
whole
talking.
class?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
and it was
that.
just every kid's like
Vibrating out of their
brutal,
seat.
brutal.
Yeah. So, anyways, check out "Won't You Be My Neighbor." It was on
Yeah.
HBO.
It
Yeah.
was really good.
I cried when he shot himself. That was just terrible.
He didn't. What?
Mr.
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. Did you finish the movie?
You can get to the
Post
end?
credits.
You guys are.
Do you know how
fucking-
Mr. Rogers died?
You're
I
joking.
actually don't. He's still. No, he,
No,
did
he
die. He died like 2 years ago, right?
They didn't talk
I'm
about
a
him dying.
stinker.
Yeah,
I'm
like
sorry,
early 2000s.
everybody.
In the movie though, they
No, 2002.
all of a sudden they talk like when he died, but they didn't say how he died.
Send your
Just old
complaints
age
to
probably,
podcast at
When,
mega64.com.
Yeah, send it to Roger.
The only thing I saw was
Try to
when
get
he,
me fired.
he spoke in front of the Senate or someone
Yeah.
to,
Talking about
to,
Get
to
funding.
get funding for public broadcasting.
And then-
and like, it was so baller. He did such a fucking good job that he changed that stuffy old guy's mind.
in the thing.
Yeah, like you could see the guy change his mind during his speech,
Yeah.
and he's like,
It
whoa.
it honestly couldn't have gone better for Mr.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he seriously went out there and he was just like, he said like you can't no more reading of these things. Like you have to just talk to me. So
Yeah.
then like he did that. He was the guy was in a bad mood. Mr. Rogers went out there and then by the end he's like, all right, fine, you got $20 million. Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
It's,
That
it's,
is
it's-
sick.
It's worth watching. It's really
I'm
good.
actually a nice person in real life. I just want to say that. I would
Yeah.
never make these jokes in real life. This is
Yeah,
a
we're-
character.
It's a video
We're
game.
going
yeah,
for the
so
dark
there you go.
humor.
This is a character. I got the mouse here.
right.
Can we do some?
I'm good for one.
Just
and
Yeah,
I'm
people
gonna
feel free to call
go.
into the Mega64 Discord.
Let's get the best of the
start
best.
A call with the Mega64 podcast user. Yeah, I think we have 2 calls right there. Yeah, see if they're on air. Nope, not that one. That one down.
Number
Oh,
one's
there
a
you go.
fail. Number two's live.
Joe LA.
Joe
What up?
Ulu.
Hey, can you give me a moment?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, you got a minute.
We're gonna count to a
Sorry.
minute. Ready?
Let's see what a
Yeah,
minute
1
is.
minute.
Let's see what 1 minute is. Go ahead now.
Dude,
I think he's
Okay,
There you go.
okay, I'm back.
You're back.
Okay.
Okay.
We
That was
good?
less than a minute.
Okay.
So, I was gonna ask you a question on voice acting. Like
Yeah.
you guys just do acting, but over these past couple of weeks,
Well.
I've been listening to Talking Tunes hosted by a guy named Rob Paulson. Do you know him?
No.
Uh,
Brian does.
Brian does. What's
Do you know Garrett has done voice acting?
Yeah.
He's in Ruby.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
yeah, the
I-
Rooster
I
Teeth
said that
production,
last-
Ruby.
Have you heard of Adam? I don't watched Ruby, but he's Adam. People cosplay as Garrett's character. How cool is that?
It is pretty cool.
That sounds cool. I mean, I've only seen the Ruby teaser videos from like when they first announced the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, fun fact. I think I'm the second voice ever to speak in those Ruby teaser videos.
Whoa.
If
You
not
are?
the first. I don't know if Blake has a line before me, but
Okay, you go first.
you know, the first two teasers were for Ruby and Weiss,
Mm.
I think. And then the third, the Black trailer, was the first time they added dialogue. There was no dialogue in the first two trailers.
Wow.
But yeah, what's this podcast about? It's
Yeah,
about
it's a-
voice acting?
So Rob Paulson, he played Yakko Warner on Animaniacs, and
Super recognizable, yeah.
so he's done a lot over the past couple of years. Ever since like 2012, he's been running a podcast, and he just gets guys who are like also voice actors, and they just discuss about either life, their background, how they got into the industry, stuff like that. I don't want to be a voice actor. I want to be an animator, but I was so surprised that so much of that stuff you could easily apply to the animation industry.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like do you guys what do you guys think of voice acting and stuff?
Well,
Aren't you a voice in Camp?
I did do a couple lines for Camp.
Shout out to Jordan
Shout out
Swears.
Jordan. Thank you. I played Neris's dad, so I was a dad.
Rocco's got a couple
Rocco,
of
I
recurring
think Rocco's
roles.
like they're gonna put that character like in the show now.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they like Rocco being this.
Well,
like,
he's got
tough
that
guy
blue
kid.
check mark
Fuck.
next to his name, so
Where's the Derek roll?
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's coming.
What
Where
I find
is the Derek roll?
Oh, that sounded good.
Ooh. I'm very, very interested in voice acting, and I accept a lot of the work that is asked of me from friends and animators on YouTube primarily. Our friend Dan Christmas that's done some stuff out there, Octopimp back in the day, some old Homestuck videos, if you can believe it. And then when I got Ruby, it was definitely, through who I knew at
Right.
Rooster Teeth.
Right.
But something that I've been looking at and trying to pursue is because unfortunately I was killed off, I think.
Oh,
It happens. They Darth Mauled me. They
No.
never used the Adam character to his potential.
what
and
the
then
fuck?
Killed him.
You're my favorite character. I never watched Blu-ray, but you are always my favorite character.
You're right. But, never say never. Darth Maul did get to come back with some robot legs. So maybe they, no body, no death.
Oh.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Everyone is saying that your death was bullshit.
Well, I thought it was an awesome scene, honestly. There was so much strife between two of the characters and myself that went on slowly kind of behind the scenes of that show's like however many seasons. And then finally they get kind of revenge, which was a bitchin' scene.
But now you're gone.
But I'm looking to replace that with some more work. So I've been applying to stuff.
Oh, you have?
friends that we know on YouTube that animate and do
Yeah.
voiceover stuff.
Shit.
It's hard though because I feel like a lot of it is who you know. I've looked up like, should I get an agent? Like a casting
Why not?
agency and sign up with someone in San Diego for that?
It's
It's a lot of work to apply for that stuff.
Yeah.
though.
I think that I don't have a great voice normally. Like my speaking voice, normal. I'm not thrilled with it.
I like it.
Thank you.
He loves it.
Hey, thank you. But it's not like it's a little higher pitched than I would like. And it's not for me. But I feel like whenever I'm told to go do something like, oh, you gotta scream and yell and do this, I always do a really good job at that.
Yeah.
I think I could do voice acting.
Well,
I
think
could do it.
Directing a character makes such a difference. And like the first couple episodes that I did Ruby, I got no direction. I was recording the lines myself. I did 3 takes of everything and sent it off, and they used what they liked. Then I started getting on Skype with Miles and Carrie, and they gave me such an important direction that
Right.
it brought my ability way up from where it was.
Yeah, and I was saying, like, I only had those literally 2 lines in Camp, so
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Jordan was there being like, okay, this time can you be a little more? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, it was super easy.
God, there's so much stuff. I've done a ton of stuff for just YouTube animators that, indie animators on YouTube, like Max Gallardi, who did our Mega64 animations and stuff. But others that I can't speak of because it takes so long to animate stuff. There's stuff I recorded like 2 years ago that's not out yet. For animators on YouTube that have pretty decent followings and stuff.
Well,
so I'm always looking to do more of that.
Let's say this right now. If there is an animator, especially I'm talking to you right now. If there's an animator out there and you want us to voice
give us
anything,
a little,
we are happy to do it.
Let's go through and give them a little taste, Derek. I mean, do you have what would you like to play? Like a gruff villain or a wormy sidekick?
I'm so multifaceted. I can literally play anything.
Literally anything. Yeah.
Let's throw one out.
Yeah,
How about
anything.
You played Gaston's buddy in that play.
Yeah.
So
his buddy.
How would a Gaston-like character come off sounding?
I'm gonna just leave this call while we continue.
Yeah, while
Good question, good topic.
continue.
Keep going.
How would Gaston sound? Well, I'll tell you, he would probably sound like this. Very, what do you say? Masculine.
Whoa.
Confident. And with Vic gone, there's just a big void in the voice acting community. Now we need Derek to step into those shoes.
That's right.
And then I could play Gaston's sidekick.
Yeah.
What is it? The bosom buddy. Gaston, you're so great. Oh, everybody wishes they could be you, Gaston. Look at those muscles, Gaston. Don't be down on yourself, Gaston. I bet you have the biggest cock in all the land.
Oh, that's good.
Any lady's lucky to get it.
Now, what about accents?
Oh, Sean.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff I get.
Sean, do like a Ugandan accent.
Yeah,
I don't think I could do that.
Come on, like Uganda Knuckles. You know how that sounds.
Yeah.
I don't think I know how to do that.
Like Mr. Echo, kind of.
No,
Brian's got a
accents. I'm not good at, but if I have to go, nah, fuck, I can't do it.
Whoa.
I
No,
don't
what's
know
that?
it.
What was
Confidence,
that?
confidence. Go,
Whoa.
go,
What are
do
you
it.
trying to do?
If I have to go deep, I can go deep, but I feel like it sounds a little weird. But I can do it if you want me to.
It's kind of like
That's
Mr.
when
B.
you
I
get
want
in
Sean to
trouble.
go
That's
deep
like
on
scary.
me.
Sexy.
Wow.
Sexy.
Let me ask you, lady, do you want me to go deep?
I do like. There's a book that I read to the kids.
Who can do the deepest voice? But go ahead. What's your book?
It's called The Day the Crayons Quit, and it's each crayon writes a letter to the kids saying like, "Yeah, you're using me the wrong way. I don't like this," or whatever. It's really funny.
Fucked up.
You're not
But I
staying in
do
the
a
lines.
voice for every single crayon.
How's
you
blue
do?
sound?
How does yellow sound?
Yellow is like annoying, but like pink is like, Duncan. All right, kid, listen to me. I don't like, and it's like him, like the most annoying because it's the pink voice, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Mr.
like,
Pink.
You're wasting my potential. I'm tired of never being used. What about a pink cowboy? That kind of stuff. So
Wow.
I do have fun with that.
Pretty good.
That's good.
Thank you.
I like.
Thank you.
And who has what color has the deepest voice?
I think that would. I mean, that's not like deep, but like maybe blue. Maybe you know what though.
I was.
Go ahead.
No, I was hoping you were gonna do a black crayon voice.
There is a black crayon,
But how does he
I
sound?
used to goth like, "Hey Duncan,
Oh, okay.
black crayon here. I mean, you never use me for anything. You always like."
All
have me
right,
be
do
the
a
outlines."
pirate.
A pirate?
A standard.
Do a pirate.
Standard.
Okay.
pirate.
I'm gonna throw some rolls at you. We're gonna
Okay,
test your
okay,
voice
okay,
acting
okay.
skills.
Fuck. The hardest part is finding something to say as a pirate. It's stupid. Yar, you got a pirate. I could be a fuck. That's not a pirate.
That was
All
great.
right,
that's
do
good.
ninja.
Shink.
Ooh, they're silent.
Yeah.
Wow, throwing around that term. Okay.
Do
Do
a
a
Ninja Star sound.
do a of course. Do a Viking.
What do you think I said?
Do a Viking.
I don't know how Vikings.
God of War shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you want me to. No, I can't do that.
Ooh,
Vikings.
that's
Oh,
good.
that was-
You're like Kratos.
Kratos.
No.
That was awesome.
I am. No.
Yeah.
No. Oh.
Yeah.
You think I have an axe, and I will throw the axe as hard as you want me to throw it.
Now
good.
do
Awesome.
princess.
Talk about your axe as the princess.
Beast. I love you, Beast.
Oh, Beast.
Oh, Beast. Gaston is an asshole. If you're so sweet.
Belle, I could hear everything you're saying, and I came to save your ass. I can't believe you would call me an asshole.
We do a whole
Get out of here, Gaston.
reenactment.
Okay,
I wanna be Mrs. Potts.
What do we got here? Chat, what are some other characters for Sean to do? How about
Like a street shark. How would a street shark
street
sound?
shark?
Yeah, street shark.
Like a guy like gambling on the
No,
street,
like the cartoon Street Sharks.
You're a shark
I
on
didn't see
rollerblades. Sean,
do
shark on
like
rollerblades.
a rat that could transform into a robot warrior.
Yeah, a robot warrior rat.
Okay. I feel like my voice is pretty close to that. I can just go a little higher pitched and a little faster. But I will transform anytime you want, and you're gonna be fucking sorry when I do.
What about like a wasp version?
Yeah, like
Yes, it's Waspinator. And I'm way better at doing this voice than Rocco, who doesn't know how to do it correctly.
he's so pissed he didn't come tonight.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Probably the best Waspinator.
Last one.
Yeah, last one.
Autobots assemble.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. You do a good Megatron.
You do.
Megatron here.
Who does the better Megatron? I feel like I have a good one
Starscream.
too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Megatron here.
Whoa, that is good.
I don't know what they're called. All my robot friends, transform, yes. And let's go and fuck up these Autobots royally, yes. The Decepticons, thank you. Rivers Dead lol. I appreciate your input, yes.
Frank, you got any voices? You do any voices?
I've done like a ton of voice acting. Not like I've done my friend Heather when she was writing for Fox. Like I would always be cast as like the student or the kid type of character.
Oh, the ADHD animations.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah. I also just recorded I don't know when it's gonna come out, but I recorded a commercial for Chick-fil-A.
Did you
What
really?
the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah.
What? How'd you get booked on that?
I don't know, this marketing team searched Chick-fil-A on Twitter and they found a tweet and like, hey, do you like Chick-fil-A? Yeah. Do you want to do an ad for us? Okay. So they recorded me in a booth for 30 minutes talking about Chick-fil-A.
Do you have a blue check?
Hell yeah.
No, I don't.
How the fuck did you get that?
Dude, my Twitter is just like, I just talk about the shit I love.
You know
So-
what?
Yeah, they just found
the
it.
people who put me in that national commercial was because of my Twitter. I put
Yeah,
that picture up.
that's like
It
a
is
new form
crazy,
of marketing. Yeah.
I guess I'm too negative on Twitter. I just like shitpost and like promote my stuff. That's all I ever do there.
Yeah, me too. I just
so,
shit
did you get
post.
paid
Yeah.
for doing that?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be a national ad?
It might be on. Brian was watching shit on Hulu, and a Chick-fil-A ad aired. So I think mine's gonna be in the second wave. We'll see. I don't usually
We'll
like
see.
to talk about shit like before it happens. I don't even know if this will happen.
Well, I mean,
but
same
jinx
they
thing.
did it.
With
Yeah.
that commercial I did, like when they talked to me, they're like, "Hey, can we use this photo for a commercial? We can't tell you for what. We can't
Yeah.
tell you for who. We can't tell you where it's gonna be shown." So I was like, "Okay, yeah." I mean,
Yeah.
like, why not?
Yeah.
So I had no idea until all of a sudden I was watching football and I saw me and the kids on TV, which was
Yeah.
a very big surprise.
So you're gonna hear like. I forget what it was, but it was like, "Hey, I'm Frank, and next time you're at Chick-fil-A, get the grilled chicken sub. It's my favorite." It's whatever. It's just shit like that.
When I was a little kid, my hockey team was sponsored by Carl's Jr. And there was a local Fox commercial that
you
they
talked
shot
about it, yeah.
where I was the slogan at the end. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face.
That's pretty good.
And God, I have that. I gotta dig that tape out of my
Yeah.
parents' storage and
I
upload that to
honestly,
YouTube.
I would love to see it because I bet you we saw that.
oh,
as
it
kids.
was on
God.
Fox. It was on
Are
like
you in your hockey
Uncle
gear,
Murph.
too?
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Fox all the fucking time as a
Yeah.
kid. I guarantee you I saw that commercial and didn't know it
it
was
was
you.
after Rescue Rangers.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
let's
anyways,
take another call.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully we have all
Yeah.
All the acting
Animators.
chops.
Yeah, hit people up.
We
if
know
you want them
Matt
to be in
Groening is he in the chat? Groening.
We know
Graining.
Gene Goldstein.
Can we? Yeah.
shit. Bart.
I feel like I could do this.
Yeah.
One of these days. But how do you break into it professionally? I think the next step
You
I
work
think
small
you
gigs and you work
you
your way up.
already
Get
did.
that agent.
Hello,
You-
Kathleen
you
Oh,
Noir.
Kathleen Noir.
a major
Hello.
role in a very big anime.
So I got to get an
already.
agent now.
Yeah.
You got to get an agent.
That's your credit,
and then you're set, dude.
Okay, all right.
You already have the resume.
All
You're
right.
already
All right,
approving
we're here
yourself.
with Kathleen Noir. What's
What up?
up?
Hey, Kathleen.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, hello.
I actually have a question for Brian
Oh,
tonight.
we got Brycam. Fuck.
Hell yeah.
Brian, you
so
got a mic up there?
Perfect.
Because you produce for this podcast, the PPS, pretty much everything Frank does. You're like the guy that keeps the ship running.
Yeah.
But I also understand that you have a job as a producer elsewhere full time. How do those duties differentiate between what you do here and what you do there?
I guess they don't really. It's just kind of like here I run more of a board and it's broadcast. So it's always live, and the other podcasts that I do always are done like, you know, recorded and then edited. So I actually have to like master and publish a audio and video file. Other than that, like there's not that much of a difference between what you're doing. It's just whatever task it is or whatever like minor thing you have to make sure it just gets done. But yeah, it's just being organized. Honestly, like there's not that big of a difference between the two jobs, other than the content is very different. Here, we're obviously talking more about media and entertainment, whereas the Behind the Smoke podcast, we're talking about like business ownership, being an entrepreneur, how to run a business, and kind of like, you know, figuring that out. I'm less on the creative side on that and more on the producing side. Whereas with Frank, I'm obviously, you know, on camera, or here, I'm like a little bit more like involved.
PPS, you're like way into the creative side, you know?
Yeah. So that would be the main difference, is that I do more on the back end of how the show looks when it gets published for Behind the Smoke, whereas here I'm more camera facing. That would be the major difference.
And
all right,
Brian,
I didn't know.
Oh, sorry. Brian, are you armed right now?
No, I'm not.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We did disarm Brian.
We disarmed Brian.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a metal detector at this office before you can get in.
Oh, look out.
But you gotta put your keys in your wallet. What is that? How'd that get through?
What was that? Oh,
great.
Watch out.
Well, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, and have a great night.
I'll talk to you guys later. Good night.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
Will you?
I hope so.
I think
I say yes.
they'll call in again.
I have a good feeling on yes.
All right. Yefwaykins.
Oh, their mic is muted. We can wait a second if they're...
Unmute your mic.
Yeah. Oh, there
hello?
you go. Almost.
Hello.
Woo, that was close.
Welcome.
Hey, how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Feel a little sunburned.
Doing all
Good.
right.
No, tough.
I just ordered the 64-hour special.
Oh,
nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Baja Moss,
welcome
my
to Baja
friend.
Moss.
Live Moss.
So, have you guys been... sorry, I haven't been watching the live stream. Have you guys been playing any games recently?
Yeah, we talked about
We
all
talked
that
about
on the
it.
live stream.
Go watch it on Tuesday, and then make sure you comment. My youth pastor will love this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Quality
All right.
content.
Egg.
Welcome, Egg.
Hello.
Surprise!
Welcome.
Hi, we're here. Hello.
Hi. So I was gonna ask about the highlights and past broadcasts before, like, I think y'all don't have any on YouTube before like 320.
Okay.
Is there any reason for that?
It used to be only audio,
Yeah, I don't think so.
but that was only the first like 20
Well, we had
or
Royce
whatever.
do it for a long time, so maybe that's when he started doing it, and then after that, we just put the whole after show out now. But back in the old days, like we just kind of just like did it, and it was the after show. We had no intention to ever release it anywhere, and then Royce started doing it for us, and then doing it himself. So we just had him release that on, we started that, I think. So
You know, I will say before that, didn't Jedi Fan 421 was a YouTube account?
Yeah,
I
he
think
would
still
edit like
is.
highlight videos.
That they would do highlight videos
Yeah.
of
let me tell you that the last podcast, you guys told me to make a Rocco. What was it? Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used everything. I used was from Jedi 421.
Oh, shouts out, Rob.
Yeah, Rob made this compilation of Rocco, so I got like all of them, and I just like found like little clips of Rocco to throw in there because it's way easier to find that compilation than it was to like go through individually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
thank you.
It was just fan made. Yeah.
Thank you.
I wish Rocco was here because I feel like there was an incident too where a bunch of stuff got taken off of YouTube.
It might have. I think when the Royce's Choices account all got taken down, or did that all go back up?
I don't. You know what? YouTube changes every day. I have no idea what's going on with it. I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
we've been doing
oblivious.
this shit for so long. It's hard to remember
But the
every
first-
little thing that's ever gone wrong.
The first 300 episodes, I mean, that's all practice for the big show that we're doing now. So
Yeah, that was just a warm up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for the call, Egg.
Thank you, Egg.
Yeah, thank you for picking up.
definitely. Did you two sweet us? What was that? It's a gang
Let's
symbol.
That was a
talk to-
scrambled
Yeah, he's a
sign.
gangbanger. We're all marked for death now. Thanks, Egg.
Thanks.
Cool.
Hey, how you doing?
Owl,
Hello.
what's
nice,
up?
Nice shirt or sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I love the shirt. The sweatshirt goes great.
Hell yeah.
Nice
So
hat,
my question.
nice wall art,
Nice eyes.
Dude, yeah, this
Yeah.
is a great
Nice
situation you got
towel,
going
yeah.
here.
comfy bed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Comfy looking.
I got
bed.
some more. I got some compliments for you too, but we'll save those for later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
can't
Alright.
wait. Let me buckle
Yeah.
up.
Personal call.
Yeah. So my question is, what's your favorite content made by fans in your fan community that isn't actually fan content? So music, games, videos, podcasts, stuff made by people in your community, but it's not like Mega64 related, if there's any.
Oh, interesting.
I'm gonna give a shout out to our good friend Gene Goldstein and his animations, Planet Panic, and the new ones that are coming out now.
You've seen some new stuff?
Well, he's been like posting promotions on
cool.
Facebook about it. So that's cool. I think that there is. I don't even know if he's really a fan of ours, but I'm pretty sure we cross paths through the Mega64 community. But there's a music video director out there named Chris Merck. Shouts out to him. He does a lot of big music videos. He's like blown up in the last few years. He's probably more famous and successful than we are now. Skullgirls by Mariel. Thanks, Jerk Off in the chat. That's a great video game.
And looking forward to Invisible RPG.
Yeah, and she did some work on the Scott Pilgrim video game too, which I loved the Scott Pilgrim video game when it was out.
There's a podcast called Blackwood that a fan came to me at Game Day, said that he made. And I've been listening to that. I'm like 3 episodes into that right now, and it's like a fiction story or whatever. But he said later on that like some characters will like have our names. There's like I think there's like a maybe it was like a Sean Acosta in the
Oh really?
story or something like that.
Mashup.
Yeah. So I haven't gotten to it yet, but Blackwood is really cool.
I'll shout out to the Thought Cops podcast. Officer Grant and Kevin holding it down.
Nice.
Making fun of the internet and all the silly happenings from week to week. And I met Kevin out at Game Days. He came out and asked me to be on the show. And there was also a guy, Dave C, I'll say, does the Recapitate podcast. Derek and I were on that.
Yeah, 2 separate episodes.
Yeah, it's a great horror podcast.
Let me tell you, it is something like people say that like, oh, you inspired me to make this thing, or like, you know, like, you make things, so I started making things, and now I'm here. Like, it is that to me is the biggest compliment you could ever get. Like,
yeah, totally. Corridor Digital, those guys, I love the stuff they're doing.
Rocket Jump.
Freddie W. We inspired him too, and he's really taken off.
Basically, like Bernie, Gus, and Jeff.
You know, those guys were just not doing comedy until they met us at a convention.
Well,
and then they're
we
like,
showed them Halo.
They just weren't funny.
They're like, we should try
us.
doing some funny stuff. Try.
We were like, you guys ever play Halo? Check it out.
Yeah. I can't confirm Spielberg, but I can't deny it either.
Can't deny it.
Can't deny it.
Yeah, Game Grumps became huge. They never would have started without us.
That's right. They were definitely viewers of Mega64.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know, John Favreau, I'm pretty sure, has seen one of our videos.
Yeah, Singles was great. I love Singles.
I don't know who started first, us or him. We've been around for a long time.
We have been on for a long time.
True.
But what about you, Al? Do you follow any creations of the Mega64 fan base?
Yeah, we've heard his name a lot, but I love Jake Innes. I love his work. Gaming Cult
Podcast,
Jake
baby.
Innes.
If I am ever about to be on a plane and I'm like gonna dread the next 4 hours or so, I get like random Gaming Cult podcast episodes just downloaded to my phone.
Nice.
And then it just doesn't even feel like there's any stress in the situation. I just got
Gaming Cult podcast still going on?
No, GCP. Well, I should say the new Gaming Cult podcast is still going. I think it's never been officially canceled. But Jake primarily focuses on, and he just moved from Australia, I think, or he is moving soon. He's moving back to the UK, and focusing on his music production and
like
DJing.
DJ.
His footwork is actually pretty damn good. Like
Tech DJs, baby.
Yeah. So it's not for everybody, but once you understand the mechanics of like that genre, he's into it. And like all of his experience with other electronic music from back in the day, Bitch Face Records, all that shit. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, shouts out.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Al.
That's a good question.
Thanks,
Al should do some voice acting.
Yeah, dude.
I love
smooth as voice.
You know what? I'm so jealous of that.
That's a smooth voice.
I wish I don't
Just go
have
lower,
it.
Sean.
Yeah.
What's up?
I could try, but I feel like it's
pull your underwear out of the crack of your ass and get those balls dropping.
Getting
balls have not dropped yet.
Arrested.
What's up, Tommy?
Just getting arrested. I just wanted to ask you guys a quick question. So I heard you doing your character voices earlier, and I remember maybe a year or so ago, you guys got mailed in some Dungeons and Dragons books. And you talked about maybe doing something with that. I was wondering if that was still on the table, or if you guys just kind of
Real
decided,
talk,
maybe it's not the best
nobody
idea.
here wants to do it.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Oh,
I
yeah.
asked and asked, like, when can we do that? And it was like, not
I'll
interested.
do it.
You know,
Yeah,
I'll do it.
that's basically the response we got.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
back in the day when I didn't work here full time.
True.
And I was honest with everyone. I just said, like, hey guys, this is something I do not have spare time for.
Right.
But now
you
if
do?
we're creating content out of playing D&D, I just feel like that's been done to death, and I think everyone's fucking bored with it. Right? I mean, the guy from
Apparently
Rick and
not.
Morty
Yeah,
had a
Harmon has-
podcast.
I've never-
Is that still going?
No,
it got
I
canceled.
think a lot of
but I
people
think
would
they
like
rebooted-
to
they're
see
doing
it.
it
I
again,
still
but yeah.
believe in it.
Yeah, you know what?
You do?
Everyone says do
I
it.
just like playing D&D, and I think that D&D is better when you play it with interesting, funny people.
Sure.
I would love to play with you guys. I really would, but in my free time I just don't have the time.
But now-
But at work,
Right.
if we're doing it for like our Patreon or I don't know if there's an audience for that, honestly, but I think it would be fun.
Well, I've never played D&D, so I have no idea what at all to expect with it, but that could be part of the podcast as well.
Derek,
where it's
I
like-
think, would be a great dungeon master
Yeah.
because he's got a lot of experience.
I don't think I would, but I actually contacted people who
Really?
they would DM for us. Rocco's not here, but from our previous conversations, I got the impression he has no interest in ever playing D&D.
Yeah, I don't think he's a fantasy
But you
head.
know, I feel like with me, I get so into something so quickly. Like right now, for me, it's rock climbing documentaries. That is my thing right now. But you know, like a while ago, it was crime podcast. Before that, you know, I like go all the way in, so I can see myself like starting as being like all the way in to this. all
We
of a
should
sudden.
do like a limited or even like a friend dimension, but one of the friend dimensions is like a D&D league.
Yeah.
It just, man, it doesn't it take a lot of time?
For the dungeon master, I
It
think
does
there's
take a
some
lot
other
of time.
Right.
People even emailed like, "Hey, I set up your characters for you. You can take these and run with them, modify them."
Really?
Yeah, you can get as in depth or not in depth as you want, but
Yeah, fifth
it is-
edition
it is
has
time commitment.
All right.
fifth edition has a 15-minute quick start.
Okay.
That you build your own characters, and they kind of just give you equipment, and that's really the most time-consuming thing about it. But I mean, I see you guys doing improv, like you're fucking great at it, and like the voice acting stuff earlier was just thinking, man, I wonder what happened to that. So thanks for answering the question, and love the show.
Thank
Hey,
you.
thank you.
Showing
Great
interest, yeah.
question.
Thanks for bringing that back to the forefront.
Yeah, maybe like a whole episode could just be setting up our characters.
Yeah.
Let's put that on the list
It
then.
takes a while. Well, if you want.
For some friend dimension ideas in the future. I would be down.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
funny. People are saying, "Please God, do it," and then someone else goes like, "Please don't do this."
See, that's what I think. Like,
But
I know
Jimner.
there's no way in hell I'm ever watching Dan Harmon's
Yeah.
fucking
Right. But
celebrity
the
jerk
guy
off.
who says, "Please don't do it," it's like, well, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah,
that's one
true.
person saying no.
Jimner, are you there?
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, I'm right here. You hear me?
Cool, cool.
I can
Barely
hear
hear you.
You're quiet.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not mad.
I don't know. I'm on my phone. The phone app.
Oh.
Is the volume all the way up?
Wait, I think I got it.
Fuck.
You can still hear me though, right?
Yeah.
Your question. I'll just turn up the volume.
Yeah.
So you can say it, we'll repeat it.
All right. This is kind of like
Okay.
kind of a lame question, but I'm really into dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I want to
Okay.
know what you guys' favorite dinosaurs are.
I just said this the other day. Dilophosaurus.
The one that
The spitter. It's
Newman gets eaten
from
by
the first
Jurassic Park?
yeah, Newman gets it by the first Jurassic Park. Dilophosaurus, baby.
Yeah.
Always my favorite. Ever since that movie came out, I've just been a big fan of the Dilophosaurus.
I always
the
like
compies.
the well.
Compies are
First
cool.
off,
Baby compies on
the Brachiosaurus or the Brontosaurus, isn't that like not a thing now? They said that wasn't really a dinosaur.
I don't know. That's like Neil deGrasse Tyson saying Star Wars wouldn't fucking
Jimner,
work.
is Brontosaurus a real dinosaur or not?
Yes, actually. It's kind of recently, like, originally they discovered, like, Apatosaurus and Brontosaurus. It got to a point where it's like, oh, Brontosaurus and Apatosaurus is the same dinosaur,
Ugh.
but they discovered Apatosaurus first, so they call it that.
Okay.
Okay.
But recently, they discovered that they're actually two different species.
Mm.
So Brontosaurus actually is a real dinosaur now. So it's
Okay.
not
You
the
like
same-
them big.
I like that, but I also like Triceratops
Yeah.
and Stegosaurus. I like them all, dude.
I like them all. I've always been a fan of the Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus
That
is
one with the
cool.
spikes on it, right?
Those plates,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Plates on his back. What was Ducky from Land Before Time?
Pterodactyl?
Parasaurology.
Oh,
that-
see,
that
this
was
guy
Petrie.
knows.
That was
Sharp.
Petrie.
That was Petrie. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Frank?
I mean, like in Lost World, like the little compies. Those are
Compies?
cute.
Oh, the cute
They look like little
ones.
chickens. I mean, Raptor's badass.
Raptor's pretty cool.
Raptors are pretty
Can't-
cool.
You know, yeah.
What's the shittiest dinosaur,
Yeah.
Jimner? What's the one that fucking deserved it?
I don't know. Protoceratops.
Yeah,
He was
fuck
like
Protoceratops.
Yeah, proto
You
bitch.
Protoceratops.
Protoceratops.
Triceratops got your ass beat.
Yeah. So thanks.
Are
Thank
you
you.
looking? Are you looking for Dino Crisis 3? Maybe.
Oh yeah. I don't
You'd
know.
be
I'd probably
interested?
do
On
it.
Xbox.
Too much bullshit for him.
All right.
What's your favorite Jurassic Park?
Probably the first.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's the only one.
Who's
That's
your
the
favorite
real one.
Primal Rage character?
Primal.
Dude, you gotta play
Yeah.
Primal Rage. It's
Primal
a dinosaur
Rage.
fighting game. from the
Yeah.
90s.
Claymation, bro. It's
You'll
sick.
dig
If you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you have sex with?
Raptor.
That's dangerous,
Uh,
Frank.
Shit. Yeah.
Raptor.
Small.
All right, this guy said he likes dinosaurs. All right, Jimner,
I
I'm calling
believe
you
you.
out. Bullshit. You never even thought about the real issues.
He likes them. He just doesn't love them.
Thank you.
Well,
Ken Domo.
Are you?
What?
I'm leaving after this call. I said that like 8 calls ago, but I'm
okay.
gonna do it after
But
this
they've been
call.
good. We've had
They've
good
been-
calls
hey,
tonight.
This has been a fantastic night for calls, and a fantastic. We did a great job with the podcast.
Oh, you know what? We didn't even talk about Reggie leaving.
yeah.
Well, in 4
Yeah.
months.
Well, Rocco will
Hey.
talk about it.
Yeah. at
Rocco's
length.
up,
gonna
Ken
talk about it
Domo?
Welcome.
for sure.
Not much. Just got back. Didn't watch the podcast, unfortunately, but
You
I'll watch it
fucking
Tuesday.
blew it, dude. It
I
ruled.
know.
You're here
Who's
for
the
the
good
after
one?
show.
Dude, we
Yeah.
gave away a car to one of the viewers.
Shit. What
Could've
kind of
been you.
car?
It was a Tesla.
It was a Tesla
Yeah.
Dodge Viper.
Okay. Well, I'll try to do something. How about
Ken
getting it?
Domo, do you remember Ty Lopez?
I want to say yes, but no.
Just chilling in my garage. Just got the Lamborghini.
Mm.
Do you know what I like more than Lamborghini?
What?
Knowledge.
Oh,
I remember that
Oh,
video.
That's
God.
why I've got all these books.
That shitty video. What was that guy trying to sell?
Ty
Books.
Lopez. He was selling
Like from like
self-help.
self-help shit.
Yeah.
I'll
Anyways,
look
we
'em
were
up.
doing some Ty Lopez stuff earlier, Ken Domo. So
Okay. I'll look them up. Is it the same thing, almost?
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
what's the purpose for your call?
Yo, I have 2 questions. I don't know if they've been answered on the podcast, but first of all, do you guys have any funny Garrett stories for
No.
when he?
He's
No.
very serious.
Yeah.
And-
Alright.
I take myself very seriously. I don't even have any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Well-
Garrett's around, I think, uh-oh. No jokes, guys.
Okay. That backfired completely. But my second
Why
question.
me? Why isolate me?
Yeah, he
No,
just gets
because
a
you
feeling
just
about you.
you started admitting it's your full time and everything, like
Yeah.
So since
fitting
like
in and off.
oh, you're
Oh,
looking for
since-
like since I've been working here now with the boys all the time.
Yeah.
Hasn't
Weird
even funny
shit.
happened.
It's like 200% Garrett time, and I was wondering if
Yeah.
that's like.
I mean, the workshop has got a lot more goth songs playing out
That's
of the Bluetooth
true.
speaker.
I enjoy
yeah.
it.
All right. Cool.
Garrett and I worked out,
yeah,
together.
Sean, I had Sean do some kettlebells with me.
and I was sore.
He didn't
for
come
a
back the
very
next
long
day.
time.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I don't want to do it today. My back's a little sore."
Well, to be real, what happened was
Gotta drink a recovery
I
drink.
didn't want to do it because I filmed a Valentine's Day video for Jenny where I fell from like 15 feet onto a sumo.
Oh, yeah.
And I did 3 takes of it, and the 3rd take I missed the sumo and hit the stage, and my ribs are still so sore.
Oh, you probably cracked a rib.
I honestly like right here hurts so bad still, and that was filmed like 3 weeks ago.
Really?
And I didn't even use that take. I didn't even. Why did
Now
I
you
film
know
it?
how Tom Cruise feels.
Why did I even
from
do
Mission
it?
Impossible.
Yeah.
All the stunt work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved the canceled universe too. That was great. That art you put up in
Oh,
last week's
thank
podcast.
you.
That was fucking fantastic.
Anyways, so
Yeah.
That's your other question.
Yo.
workout goth music.
This is really like nerdy, like Mega64 nerdy, but like I watched a bunch of videos of you like taking articles on the internet, like the Sit Quitters and the friggin' Prince and whatnot.
Yeah.
All of them start with all of you in the same office, kind of like doing just random stuff. Is that possible anymore? I noticed in the 90s video, like you guys are just in Sean's office.
Right.
And I don't know why. I just thought of it and I'm like, wow,
we moved,
are they,
so it's not possible. 'cause
Yeah.
we don't have that office
And we
anymore.
also, before we just all shared one little room, and that was our office.
Yeah, we were all huddled in there.
Yeah, and that wasn't,
Ideal?
by design. That was just what we had to do. That was necessity. So now we have our own offices, and so we just kind of shoot whatever.
At the time, being in the bullpen with you guys, sharing ideas, sharing videos. I didn't like the messiness of the office.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name any names, but some unnamed people were particularly messy with their workspace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
so
difficult to tolerate.
There are times now that like we're all working or something in our offices, and like we kind of yell things to each other in our different rooms, and I kind of feel like it's like an apartment now with these are my roommates, and we're just
dorms.
And it's like, oh shit, what? Come look at this real quick. Let's look on TV, and it's like they all come in and like look at this weird thing that we see. Like it's just like. It is really funny that like.
But we have a common meeting space that we could start a video in where we all have our meetings.
Yeah,
in.
we have like meetings and we have a communal space still.
Yeah.
But as for our offices, those are separated, which has been nice.
I ate a bunch of jelly beans in Sean's office once.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell him until now. I just had to say that. So
Well,
thank you.
Frank, I knew.
Okay.
You counted those
Sean,
jelly beans?
Yeah. I always come here and I always ask where the candy's at. And
I had a little stash of them. Actually, a guy, Kevin, in the chat sent me a whole bag of jelly beans and a ton of other awesome stuff. But that bag of jelly beans lived in the secret compartment of my desk, and then Frank saw me get some, and I'm like, you can. No, I let him in. Like, hey, you know what? You can have these.
Oh, you gave him the secret?
Whenever you want, Frank, you can have some of these jelly beans.
Yeah. Thank you.
I rationed the king-size bag of Skittles that was like from Costco Kevin gave me.
Yeah.
I just finished them like last week.
Really?
It took that long. Just a handful every time I came in here.
I am embarrassed to say how fast that bag of Jelly Bellies went.
We're
me and Frank together, but mostly me. And I just destroyed them.
The quadruple million stuffed Oreos were gone by Monday.
No.
Now, here's the thing.
No.
I had one.
I had one too.
I had one after I watched the thing.
So as you guys.
And I had the one, and then I liked it. I really liked it.
You asshole! You liked Oreos.
I really liked the Oreo.
What a dick!
And I saw each cookie was 150 calories, and so I thought like,
110.
110. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't have that one. But then the next day, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have one more, and it was gone. So I don't know who ate them, but shit, I wanted more of those.
Kevin's not here right now. I bet it was Kevin.
Because Rocco wasn't in town when this happened, so it wasn't Rocco.
True.
I think it was Kevin.
Unless he packed some for the road.
Maybe, but I don't think it was Rocco.
All right, Ken Domo. I hope that answers your question about why we don't share an office anymore.
In our sweet tooths.
But man, having my own office is amazing.
We're still working on those saltwater taffies. I think there's stuff.
I think those are all gone.
Those are gone now too.
Yeah.
Damn.
Those are gone. We ate them.
We got a sweet tooth here at the studio.
It's a perfect little snack.
It is.
Yeah.
But I like salty snacks too. I should look into that.
You want to reward yourself. You know, after you send an email, you get up, you go to the coffee station.
Did they answer?
I
Looks
think
like they did.
Mona.
Hello.
Mona Lisa.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Oh, here. Hold on, let me turn them.
Hello.
Listener, turn on your radio.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
This guy should be
My name is Jennifer. I'm watching your podcast with Kurt Dog right now.
Hello.
Hell yeah.
Kurt Dog.
Oh, you need to turn on the mic, volume on our.
Is
Kurt,
this a bit?
Ow.
No,
Kurt
no,
Dog.
it's Kurt Dog. It really
Alright,
is.
hold on.
About to get,
No.
Are we about to get punked?
No,
What am I
you're-
doing?
Kurt Dog. This is
Oh,
really
you gotta
you,
turn
right,
off
Kurt Dog?
the volume on your end.
This is Kurt Dog.
Is Kurt Dog on the phone
I
giving
don't buy
IT
it.
support?
Because Kurt Dog would know how to turn the mic up.
Yeah, I don't
This
believe
is Kurt
that's
Dog. This is
really
Kurt Dog.
Kurt Dog.
I believe it.
One
No.
moment.
Kurt Dog, is this you?
Okay, so I have like a question.
Mhm.
Why is provolone cheese always cut into a circle? Like all the other cheese.
I don't fucking know, man.
Well,
Yeah, the world may never
Kurt
know.
Dog. That was Kurt Dog.
and Jennifer.
I don't know.
I don't know
Jennifer
why it's in a
Kurtog. If that
circle.
was you, Jennifer Kurtog, I apologize.
Why does Olive Loaf have
But
olives
I
in it?
needed more Kurtog to believe it.
Yeah.
Wait, provolone doesn't come in squares?
You
I've got
know
it in
what? I'm
squares.
gonna be thinking about this all night. So I think on that note, we're just gonna have to end it there.
I gotta go to the deli.
Why doesn't provolone come in
Yeah,
fucking
I'm gonna
squares?
have to go.
though.
No.
I'm gonna have to go to my local fromagerie
circles.
and ask
At
them
Subway, it's
the
circles.
questions.
Yeah, it's circles.
But that's Subway. I go to Vaughn's and I get the boar's head and it's in squares with a little piece of paper in
So
between
Jennifer,
each
there
one.
you go. We answered your
Jennifer,
question.
there you
Not
go.
always.
You can get it squared or circle. Subway is circle.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Thank you
Vaughn's is
for
square.
watching, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Let's Google square provolone.